While they're divorced, mother Loretta goes on a cruise with her new boyfriend. Loretta reveals she has not spoken to her parents in 15 years after marrying her high school teacher, whom her parents, disapprove having never met their grandparents. Teams plan to record a broadcast film about their visit using a camcorder at the train station. Becca and Tyler meet their grandparents for the first time. Becca refers to as Nana, and Pop kids are very happy seeing their grandparents for the first time arriving at the house. Becca is busy recording all activities with Tyler using her camera. Nana is also very happy with the being of her grandchildren. Tyler and Becca get settled into their room upstairs, refuse to be there there so far. Everything seems very normal. Things start out very well. Tyler and Becca are both given the freedom to see her. They are having a fun day together exploring the surroundings. Night, Tramp comes into their room to give them some information in this house. They have to obey some rules. Becca and Tyler are instructed to never go into the basement because it contains toxic mold, and that time is at 9:30 p.m., after which they shouldn't leave their room. However, that night, Becca and Tyler couldn't sleep an hour past curfew. Becca is hungry, so she ventures downstairs for something to eat and intends to take a cake from the kitchen. However, to her surprise, she sees Nana walking madly and vomiting all over the house, which frightens her. Becca immediately runs into her room, feeling careful the next day. She questions her grandfather about the event that happened last night. Pop insists Nana had a stomach bug and wasn't feeling well, then reminds her not to leave their bedroom after 9:30 during the day. Questions continue to explore. They play hide and seek in the crawl space underneath the house. Tyler hides. Becca seeks Tyler out with her camera, making her own way into the dim lit maze columns. However, Becca is surprised when she turns and is met by the lunging, animalistic form of Nana, bounding towards her in an unnaturally fast pace. Immediately flees, trying to escape. Before Nana can reach her, Becca retreats, crawling out of the crawl space into the safety of sunlit. Nana emerges, laughing at what she sees as a jockey. A few moments later, a doctor named Dr. Sam comes to their door and asks to talk to their grandparents, but their grandparents are not home at the moment as they had just gone for a walk. Claims he is from Maple Shade, the hospital. The grandparents volunteer AP stops by to check on them and wonders why they haven't been coming in for the expected shift. While their grandparents are still away, Tyler decides to investigate what's in the shed while vlogging. He sneaks inside and finds in the corner a pile. He gets closer to see what it is and discovers it's used adult diapers. After their grandparents return home, Pop takes Becca and Tyler through the town, shows the school their mother used to study at. A moment later, however, Pop tells them to leave because they're being followed. The kids see a man across the street. Pop runs over and begins to accost the man, yelling at him. Becca and Tyler convince him to leave the man alone, and Pop, realizing he's just been paranoid, apologizes to them. That night, at 10:47 p.m., they hear a scary sound coming outside their locked door. The two want to film what's on the other side, so Tyler tells Beck to open the door. When they see a naked Nana clawing at the door opposite them, scratching like a frantic look, they immediately shut the door. The next morning, Pop and Nana are outside with breakfast on the table. Nana apologizes because she's got hot oil over Becca's computer. Will come as a result. When they are talking to their mother on Skype, they aren't able to show their faces. Tyler and Becca immediately tells their mother that their grandparents have been acting strange these past few days. Reassures them their grandparents are weird, but they're also old, and old people are sometimes frank, sometimes paranoid. That's just how old people act. In the afternoon, Becca approaches her grandmother, asking her to be interviewed. Becca interviews Nana by asking her warm-up questions. She asks Nana what happened 15 years ago to cause her not her daughter. However, Nana starts showing berserk, taking strong life. At night, at 10:16 p.m., they hear a horrible slap outside the door. They want to know what Nana is doing this time. When they open the door, they see Nana running past with both arms behind her back, pushing in both directions. Just as she's about to crawl towards the camera, they shut and block. On the fourth day, another strange thing happens. When Becca and Tyler see their grandmother staring into a well, Tyler and Becca approach the well, try to figure out what is hidden inside, but all they pull up is water. Later that day, a neighbor named Stacy comes over, telling them their grandparents have buried at the hospital when she was in rehab, and she baked treats to thank them. Later that evening, Becca is in the living room and hears Nana laughing excitedly. She decides to show what kind of television show makes her Nana laugh, hoping it's one her mom loves, but she finds Nana rocking in a chair facing the wall. Suddenly, the grandmother covered her own face with a shawl. Becca also goes into the shed and finds Pop with a rifle in his mouth. Due to a strange accident that keeps happening, they decide to set up a hidden camera in the living room to see exactly what goes on at nighttime. And they fall asleep in the living area. The camera records Nana opening and slamming the basement door several times. She picks up the camera and then films herself going into the kitchen, where she grabs a butcher knife. She makes her way up to the kids' bedroom and begins pounding at their door. Becca and Tyler wake up, start that he can hear Nana trying to get in, but just face. The next morning, they watch the footage and see that Nana was trying to kill them. Becca tells Tyler that their mom is back from her vacation that day, so they just have to avoid their grandparents all day by going out and pretending to play. Becca uses that moment to scrub the oil off of her weapon. They wait until the grandparents are out front. They immediately get on Skype. The oil has been scrubbed off of the weapon so their mom can see them. Note they quickly tell her she needs to come and pick them up right now as their grandparents are awful. Tyler films the grandparents from the window so his mom can see them. The mom is now white-faced and reveals to both of them they are not her parents, which means they have been living with strangers all week. Their mom immediately tries to call the local police. She tells them to get somewhere safe, but just when the grandparents return a few hours later, outside the window, they see Nana and Pop in a heated clash with their neighbor, Stacy. They wonder what they are fighting about. Later that night, the grandparents suggest having a board game night, but the kids say they want to record something outside. While the grandparents figure out the teams, they head to the yard, only to see Stacy hanging dead from a tree. Pop appears and tells them they already have the teams hold versus. Excuses herself from the game, saying she's got to film something real quick. Tyler, who is now left alone, begins to feel strange things. Pop suddenly walks away from the table and Nana is seen eating cake unnaturally. The old man returns to the table and approaches his wife, who suddenly freezes. Goes down to the basement, explaining to the viewer that she thinks her real grandparents have been trapped down there, and that's why Pop told them to stay away. Becca begins calling out for the real Nana and Pop, but doesn't hear a response. In the corner, she sees a dustbin and hurries over to Ikenside. She sees something from Maple Shade, which she now learns is a psychiatric hospital. She also finds a family photo of her real grandparents, digs some more, and to her surprise, she finds the corpses of her real grandparents. Immediately behind her, Pop has appeared. This is where he reveals everything, and the woman Becca knows as Nana were patients at a nearby mental hospital, where the real Nana and Pop were regular volunteers. When they told them about their upcoming visit with their grandchildren, the two imposters decided it would be fun to experience in their process, so they murdered their real grandparents and took their plastic. It is also revealed that fake Nana once had children of her own. Therefore, a few days ago, the grandmother was seen staring into a well. As you remember it, 35 years ago, she deliberately threw her child into the well. Furthermore, it is also revealed Nana experiences something called sundowning, which is a form of dementia that happens when the sun sets. That explains why fake Nana is often increasingly confused at night and prone to abnormal behavior. And Lola can throw out the movie. Other folks in the hospital have been stopping by the house to pick up on their grandparents. But fake grandparents have conspired to be out for a walk during these visits. After the revelation, Pop grabs Becca and imprisons her in his bedroom with an Amian, while he then starts to psychologically torment Tyler by smearing his face with his dirty diaper. Simultaneously, Becca continues to be chased by Nana. Nana smashes Becca's face into the mirror, and pieces of glass shatter all around them. Becca picks up a shard of glass as Nana jumps on top of her, clawing at her. Becca fatally stabs Nana with the glass shard, killing her. She runs into the kitchen and tackles Pop. Pop starts to get the upper hand. Tyler attacks him and knocks him to the floor and repeatedly slams the refrigerator door onto his head, killing him. Soon after, they hear police sirens. They immediately run outside to find their mom and police cars out front. They hug each other and great. They are now safe. At the ending of the movie. The visit. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.